Hey guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. Market looks absolutely horrific at the minute, and it's not just cryptocurrency. You can see a field of red down the right hand side, but if you take a look at the S&P 500, it's absolutely puking too. We've actually lost that moving average 200, which is usually a great long-term indicator of growth, and we've been above that since June of 2020. So dropping below that is not a good sign, but as you can see, previous times when we have lost that level, we actually regained it fairly quick. We had a spike there, a little bit of trading there, which probably lasted around, well, this is the daily time frame, so you probably had about 2 or 3 months under there. Actually, as you've gone up in time, we've started to see some fairly bigger drops, so just be wary that these dips below the 200 are getting bigger on the way up, so just be wary that this one could even be a monstrous one, but fingers crossed. That doesn't happen. We actually just spend a little bit of time under here and then close back above that 200 as soon as possible. Just looking at the RSI on the SPX, it's proper getting into that oversold territory. So with that, hopefully, if we do bounce back above that 200 and reclaim it, altcoins, Bitcoin and Ethereum will start to do it a little bit better. Looking at Ethereum, we're going to just look at some USDT pair, and towards the end we'll have a look at the Satoshi pair too. So we are dropping. We are currently at $2,155, and we are into this pocket of liquidity. Now, if you look at this in terms of a bit of a liquidity area, we can catch all this area here, so you can see bottom. Let's just drag it right onto there. You could even say there's an actual bottom there in terms of a line. If you just put the line on from this area here, you can see it's a clear bottom there, isn't it, where we've bounced off at $1,700, pretty much 4 to 5 weeks within that area. So that could be a good area if you're looking to accumulate Ethereum, decent area, but also, like I say, big area of liquidity down there. All this trading, which uses support or resistance back here, it was a decent area to load up. So if you're looking for buys, then really you could consider looking to place some bids down here at $1,700. In terms of Fibonacci's from the entire move, you're looking at a bottom there to the top. We've lost that 786 level, which for me usually gives you a good bottom indicator, but as the markets are absolutely shit in a bed, price action is naturally falling down, and like I say, for me, that is the area where I would be bidding. If we did lose that area, then you're going to look to these wicks down here. There was a nice support region down here when we bounced off and we started to go on to create some of the all-time highs, so that's down at 1287. Personally, I do not see us coming down to this level. I'm expecting a bounce at some stage, and if you're looking at RSI, it's into that oversold territory, which is that green band. Usually, whenever we get into the overbought or the oversold territory, you usually tend to get a reaction at some point. What we need is a traditional market to stop shit in a bed, and then it will help us get a little bit of a relief bounce. But so far, it's looking shit is the word. From the highs to the lows, we've done you call about a 56% drop on Ethereum, which is not ideal. All-time highs was up there at $4,880, let's call that. So it's a fairly decent level there. What's going on in terms of price action though? Continue to drop, and this is the area you need to consider. Moving averages, we use the 50 and the 20, and we've had that bearish cross here. Usually, it is a lagging indicator, but you can see that 20 is sticking to it quite nicely. If we start to get any type of growth around here, you're going to see a bullish cross, but I wouldn't trade that, to be honest. Price action here now is starting to just hug at the bottom of the 20, and as you can see, this last daily candle has been horrific, and it is in free fall now. So buys down here. I'm going to set some bids at $1,700. Not a great deal of tether, but I'm going to place some bids there and try and pick up some ETH. And hopefully we'll get a bounce at some stage. Remember, we could still bounce from here. It was the peak up here, as you can see, resistance area, and it was a support here. So that could be an area which we look to get back. If we're managing to get back above $2,400, I think it'll look kind of okay, but still not the best situation. So that's the buy zones down there. Levels of resistance, really the next major level of resistance is this one here. In terms of an area, you could pretty much, that was the top of that move there, and if you drag it all the way through, it was support here, support there, and then support there. So that is an area we need to get back above. let's talk a bit more accurate figures. We need to get back above $2,800 to $3,000. Once we do flip back up above there, we've got a target there moving average 200, which is around $3,500. But these levels are quite a way off yet, and the market is looking like it's more in favour of dropping. But at any point, the market could bounce it. I mean, just going back to the SPX, it is continuous poop, but we've had a little bit of a bounce there. If we go down to the lower time frames, check this on the hourly, nothing too major, but as you can see, we've had a little bit of a reaction so far. If this does manage to reclaim that 200 back, I think all systems will be go again. But that's thoughts on Ethereum, some levels to buy, and then potential areas to, well, what I would be doing, if the price did come back up here, I would be selling. And that's not just in terms of ETH. If ETH pulls back up here, you're going to see the rest of the market pull back up. And for me, that would be an area where I would be considering taking profit. So Bitcoin, very similar. We need to get back up to this 42k region. I think if we get back up to 42k on Bitcoin, Ethereum itself is going to get to around that $3,000 mark as well. And remember, it probably will just be a relief bound, so just keep taking some profit. Just a bit of a thing on Bitcoin here, with potential triple bottom. I know we've had several weeks in that area, but if you look at this as a bottom here, we have a bottom here, and potentially a bottom coming down here, that's at 28k. If we do get down to there again, I can see the market's bouncing quite hard. I've seen a lot of bearish people out there targeting 20k, even lower. I've been seeing people mention bloody 3k and 5k. And that's exactly the same sentiment what happened here. People were calling 13k, 12k. It never happened, did it? I think we bounce at some stage in here, whether that's tomorrow or whether that's back towards April. We will get a bounce. There's always a bounce. So let's just keep our eyes on the price of Bitcoin, because ultimately that does follow the rest of the market. Looking at ETH BTC, that's continuous drop as well, and we have lost that moving average 200. But usually if Ethereum is not doing too bad and Bitcoin's doing bad, then Ethereum on the Satoshi pair would perform well, but the entire market's puking, isn't it? So that's what it is. From the current local top, we've dropped 26%, but we're a long way off all-time highs. In that, all-time high is actually quite far away. It's up at 1.5 BTC, currently down, well, what price are we now? Down at 0.6 BTC, so price has dropped and we've lost that 200, but let's see. Let's see if we can get in a bit of a nice bounce like we did here. We lost that 200 and then we regained price action. And let's see if we can do the same again here. Let's see if we can use this area to regain some dominance across the market and regain that 200. If we do regain that 200, I think in reality it will be decent for altcoins really. I think if whenever ETH BTC is performing well, you would expect that Ethereum itself to be doing quite well too. So that's my thoughts on the market really. Buy level $1,700. Keep your eyes on them. There's a lower level down at 1290, but I think that's not. I think that's just a little bit farther stretch. So buys down here, sells up here. That's going to do it for today. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.